Good morning, Glorians. In today's maths video, we will try and complete with the remaining part of the lesson, triangle and their properties. So students, after learning the types of triangle based on sides, then types of triangles based on angles, today we are going to learn one property of the triangle, and that property is the sum of the measures of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Okay, so this statement is actually the very first property of the triangle. And what does this property state? It states that the sum of the measures of the three angles of a triangle is 180. Now let me simplify this property for you. So it means that measure angle A plus measure angle B plus measure angle C is equal to 180 degree. Okay, so once again I state the very first property of the triangle, and the property is the sum. The sum means the addition. Okay, the additional value of the measures of the three angles, all the three angles, when you add up, or you add up all the measurement of the three angles, what will you find when you add up all the measurement of the three angles? You will find up that they are equal to 180 degree. Okay, so this is the first property. Always keep and remember in mind. Now let's try and understand this property again with the help of the second example. So here upon screen you can see the second example figure given to you, which is triangle ABC. Now in this triangle ABC, if you measure, that is measure of angle A, okay, plus measure of angle B plus measure of angle C should be 180 degree. Okay, because this is a property what we are learning. So now let's prove it. Okay, now measure of angle A over your children is what? 60 degree. Okay, so I just write it below A, plus measure of angle B given to you is 50 degree, right? Plus measure angle C given to you is 70 degree. Now when you add up all these values, children, 60, 50 and 70 degree, you will notice that all these three angle measurements, they come up to 180 degree. Okay, so with this, I hope with the second example, the property of triangle has become little bit more clear to you. So what does the property state? It states that sum of the measures of the three angles of a triangle is always 180 degree. And when it states that, you should also always remember that when you add all the three measures of the angles, it will measure only 180 degree. Okay. Now let's see another example. Now in this third example figure, that is triangle. So in this triangle PQR, once again, okay, if we have to, prove, okay, with the help of property that this triangle is a proper triangle, then we need to add all the three angle measurements and see whether it is coming to 180. If it comes to 180, then this particular triangle PQR is a proper triangle. So let's add up. So here we have measure of angle Q plus measure of angle, first is P, then Q, and then measure of angle R, which should be equal to 180 degree. Now let's simplify the values. So measure of angle P given to you is 109, plus measure of angle Q given to you is 48, and measure of angle R is given to you as 23. Now when you add up, okay, all these three values, we conclude that all these three values, they come up to the final number 180 degree. Okay, that means this triangle PQR is a proper triangle. Why? Because the measures of sum of the measures of all the three angles of this triangle is 180 degree. So students, I hope with these few examples you have understood the very first property of the triangle, what I was trying to explain to you just now. Okay, once again I repeat, the first property of the triangle is wherein if you want to know whether the given triangle is a proper triangle, so you need to apply this property, and the property is sum of the measures of the three angles of a triangle will always be 180. Now when we say sum of the measures, it means when we add all the measure or measurement values, okay, of all the three angles, when we add them up, we come to the number 180 only. Fine. Now let's learn the next property, or I can also say the second property of a triangle. Now what is the second property of the triangle? Here again on the screen you can see in the form of a sentence and in the form of a figure, which I will simplify it for you. So the second property of the triangle states that the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is always greater than the length of the third side. I'll just repeat the sentence again. The sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is always greater than the length of the third side. So always remember, if you want to know whether your given triangle is a proper triangle, then it should also fulfill this particular property, which is your second property. So now in order to simplify the second property, the example given to you is you have a triangle XYZ given with some measurements given for each and every side. Like if I say the measurement for side Y and X, that is this side, I'll just highlight for you. Side YX measurement is 7 centimeter. Side YZ measurement is 8 centimeter. And the measurement of side XZ is 9 centimeter. Okay, so you have three different measurements given to you over here for the triangle. Now, how to understand this property? Let me tell you. Now here it states that if you take, okay, the sum of any two sides, sum means if you add the values of any two sides of the triangle, okay, you will find that addition value what you get will always be greater as compared to the value of the third side. Okay, so let me show you here. So if I take the side value, that is first I am taking side XYX, okay, plus I am taking side X and Z. So I am taking this and this side, okay, I am adding the two values, so which will always be greater, okay, than the third value. Now the third value over here is which one? I'll just highlight with blue. That is YZ. Okay, it should be greater. So now let's see, okay, when we add up with the help of numbers, okay, whether this property is right or wrong. So once again, we have YX, which is 7 centimeter, and X and Z, which is 9 centimeter, okay, which should be greater than Y and Z, which is 8 centimeter, right? So 7 plus 9 gives you, it gives you the answer 16, okay, which is greater than the third value 8. So with this we have proven that, children, the property which is the sum of the length. Sum of the length means we have taken the first pair, that is this pair, is greater of any two sides of a triangle is always greater than the length of the third side. Okay, so the third side was this. Fine. Now let's take again the next pairing. So in the next pairing, I take side XZ plus side YZ, which I will prove that it is greater than side yx. Okay, so we will put down the values. Xz is 9 plus yz is 8, which has to be greater than yx, which is what? 7. Okay, so 9 plus 8 will give you what, children? It gives you the value 17, which is again greater than this value 7. Okay, so once again we have proven the property, that is, if you take the sum of any two sides or the lengths of any two sides of the triangle, okay, when I'm saying any, okay, you can, out of the three, you can make a combination of any two sides, okay, you will find that the final value, okay, will always be greater than the third value. Is it clear? Now let me show you the third pairing. Now in this third pairing, I take the side yz plus yx, which is greater than x and z. Okay, so here again we will write down values. Yz is 8 plus yx is 7, which should be greater than xz, which is 9. Okay, so 8 plus 7 gives you the total. It gives you the total 15. Okay, so this again 15 is greater than 9. So once again we have proven the property, that is, the sum of the lengths of any two sides what you have selected of this triangle is greater than the length of the third side. So I hope, children, you have understood the second property. Okay, in simple manner they have just stated, out of the three sides, if you combine or if you add any two sides, when I say any means any two sides, children, if you add, and whatever value you get, that value will always be greater as compared to that third side which is remaining. Is it clear to you? So this is the actual meaning of this second property. Now based upon the second property, we will have one solving of the sum, that is, it is given to you in your textbook page number 79. Okay, right below you will find there is again a question given to you like this, wherein they have asked you to draw the triangle ABC, okay, and measure the lengths of its three sides using a divider and a scale and enter them in the table. Okay, so children, here on screen I have just modified, okay, the question a little bit. So if you have a look in your textbook, the actual question states, wherein you have the word activity, there the question is where they have written, draw any triangle on a paper, name its vertices ABC, measure the lengths of its three sides using a divider and scale, and enter them in the table. Now what I have done, I have just modified the question and I have written here on screen. So you will also copy the question what you see on the screen. Okay, that is, draw the triangle ABC and measure the lengths of its three sides using a divider and a scale and enter them in the table. Okay, so I have just simplified it for you by giving you a direct triangle. Okay, what you can see just below the question, in blue color I have drawn the triangle ABC and I have even written the measurements of it. Okay, like the side AC is measuring 6 centimeter, side AB is measuring 4 centimeter, and side BC is measuring 5 centimeter. Okay, so you will also draw a rough figure like this. Okay, in whenever you'll be writing your notes, you will be drawing a rough figure the way you can see. Okay, now, and it should be done with the help of a pencil because it is just a rough figure. Now, once you do this, okay, the third part of this question is wherein you have to fill in the table. Okay, so I have not changed the table. The table is as it is, wherein the first column is asking you to fill in the length of side, That is AB. What is the measurement of AB? You have to write it over there. What is the measurement of BC? You have to write. And what is the measurement of AC? Then in the second column, you need to complete the sum of the lengths of the two sides. Sum of the length means when you will add any two sides, what is the value, final value you get, that number you have to enter over here. And in the third column, what you're going to do, length of the third side. Length of the third side means obviously out of the three sides, you have taken a combination of any two sides. So what about the remaining third side? What is that measurement remaining? That you are going to enter it here in the third column. So I will just help you out over here. So here I start. In the first column, they have said only length of side, and below they have asked you the length of AB, if you go to see, is 4 centimeter. So I write only the number 4. BC is 5 centimeter. So I write 5. And length AC is 6 centimeter. So I write 6. So my first column is done. Have a look at the second column, wherein they want you to add, that is, sum of the length of the two sides is what? So first they have given you AB and BC. That means they want you to add AB and BC. So what is AB and BC? 4 plus 5, which gives you the final value 9. Now this is all rough work, okay children? So I'm going to write over here 9. Fine. Then let's erase and go ahead. The next line, they have asked you to add the lengths of BC and AC. Now what is BC and AC? 5 plus 6, which equals to 11. So I write 11. Okay, once again let's erase it out. Then let's add in the value of length AC they are asking and length AB. So that is 6 plus 4, which is equals to 10. Right? So here you can see I have written, that is, I have helped you to complete the second column also. So now let's erase. Now let's fill in the values of the third column. So length AC is, they have only asked you length AC, so it is 6 centimeter. AB is 4 centimeter and BC is 5 centimeter. So now children, here you can see that sum of the length. Now just compare the column number 2 and 3. Okay, concentrate on column number 2 and 3 children. You will find that sum of the length of the two sides, that is AB and BC. If we take a combination of AB and BC, you find that the value 9 centimeter is greater than the third value side, which is 6 centimeter, that is AC, right? Then again in the next line you can see if we take a combination of side BC and AC, we come up with the value number 11. So 11 is again greater than the third value, which is only the value 4 centimeter, which is of side AB. Okay, and in the third line we again see that when we take a combination of AC and AB, we get the final value 10 centimeter, which is again greater than the number 5, which is the third value. Okay, that is of length BC. So here we have again proven, this is how you have proved children with the help of the second property, that in a triangle, if whenever you try to add, okay, or whenever you try to sum up the lengths of any two sides of the triangle, you will find that the final value what you get is always greater than the third side value. Is it clear to you? So here is how you are going to complete the table. So children, finally your table should look like this, okay, with all the three columns filled with the proper numbers. Now student, based on the second property, you have question number 5 given in practice set number 36 to solve, okay. So let me read it out to you and explain it to you. How are you going to find answers to it? So question number 5 states that The lengths of three segments are given for constructing a triangle. So if you want to construct a triangle, you need to have the measurement of the three sides. Okay, so that is what they have given to you. Further, they have stated, say whether a triangle with these sides can be drawn or no. So they have only given you measurement, but they want you to find out whether with all these measurements given, whether you are able to draw a proper triangle, whether you are able to construct a proper triangle or no. And you have to give the reason for your answer. So you have to justify with the help of the property of the triangle that yes, the given measurements, okay, like suppose if you solve the very first sum given to you, wherein you have measurements 17, 7 and 8, if you solve the way I will show you, if you solve and you come to the final conclusion by applying the second property of the triangle, if you come to know, okay, that yes, triangle can be drawn, then you will justify your reason that it is only due to the second property of the triangle we are able to draw or construct the triangle of the first question. Okay, I will show you how to do it, children. Now, always children, whenever you're constructing any triangle and you get a question like this, the very first concentration what you have to go to is have a look at your three values. Okay, like in the first sum, if you have a look, 17, 7 and 8 centimeter. Now, out of all these three values, which is the highest value, children? It is 17 centimeter. So always consider, okay, draw a rough figure, okay, in your rough column, and name that triangle also by yourself with any letters, whatever you want, like I have done is ABC. Now this is all rough work, okay, children? And what you do, you will place the highest value centimeter as the base, okay? That is for BC, I am putting the 17 centimeter, which is my base of the triangle, okay? See, a building does not stand without the foundation, okay? You need to create a foundation based upon which the floors of the building are built, right, or constructed. Similarly, for a triangle also, when the construction part comes, children, you need to have a base of that thing. So in order to have the base, out of all the three measurements, you are going to put the very highest value measurement as the base. Is it clear? So out of all the three values, 17 number is highest. So 17 centimeter becomes the base of the triangle, base or the foundation. Okay. Then what happens to the other two values? You can just put it for AB, you can put as 7. And AC you can put it as 8 centimeter. Okay, these two values you can put it as per your wish. Now, what is our next step over here? Okay, after the rough figure what we have done, we have to, justify whether we can draw or construct a proper triangle with the help of three measurements given over here. Okay. So for that we are applying the second property. And what does the second property state, children? It states sum of the two sides, okay, should always be greater than the third side. So now your children, the two side which you are going to take is AB plus AC, which should be greater than the third side BC. Now your compulsory, you have to keep the highest measurement value side as the third side. Okay, once again I repeat, your compulsory, you have to keep the highest measurement value as your third side. Okay, so that is why I have taken the combination of AB plus AC, which should be greater than BC. So now let's substitute the values. AB is 7, AC is 8. Okay, which should be greater than BC, which is 17. Now 7 plus 8. So 7 plus 8 gives you 15. Okay, now if you have a look, children, 15 and this number 17, which is greater over here? It is the number 17. Okay, so what happens over here, children, when you find that the property of the triangle is not getting fulfilled? Okay, because according to the property of a triangle, if you want to draw or construct, or if you want to know whether your triangle is proper, it should fulfill the properties of the triangle. So here you can see that some of the lengths of the two sides of the triangle, okay, they are less in value as compared to the third side. Now here, since we are, attempting the question of constructing a triangle, it is very important to keep the highest numerical value as the base value or as the third side value. Okay, so that is why I have kept 17 as the third side value. And when I combine the remaining two sides, I find that the value, okay, of the two side is 15 and the third side value is 17. So where is the greater sign now? It is towards the third sign. So with this, it obviously you can see that it is not fulfilling the property of the triangle. Okay, so because of this, we can state that these three measurements, whatever are given to you in this first question sum, okay, you will not be able to construct a proper triangle. Why? Because it does not fulfill the property. That's the second property of the triangle, or it does not fulfill the property of the triangle. Now you will be thinking, Miss, how to write it? Okay, so in the assignment section, children, I have shown you the steps of how to write it in a proper manner. Here only I am explaining to you. Okay, the writing part, okay, you please have a view at the assignment section so you can do it step by step. Now let me again take the solving part for the second question sum for you. So here again in the second sum, if you note where the measurements are given to you as 7 centimeter, 24 centimeter and 25 centimeter, out of all these three measurements, the highest value measurement will be what? So we need to draw the rough figure first. So here I draw a rough figure again name it as ABC. And the highest value, which is the base value, it will be 25. And the remaining two you can put as 7 centimeter and 24 centimeter. Okay, now after doing my rough figure, please remember, since you are attempting a question wherein they have asked you in order to construct a proper triangle, please remember that the highest value measurement will be your third side value. Okay, so here my combination will be now side AB plus AC, which should be greater than BC. Okay, so what is AB here? 7. AC is 24, which should be greater than BC, which is 25. Now when you add 7 to 24, you get the value 31. Okay, now 31 is greater than 25. Okay, so here what happens? You have fulfilled the property of the triangle wherein some of the measures, okay, some of the length measure of two lengths of any side of the triangle is greater than this third side. Okay, so here you can see AB plus AC is equal to the number 31, which is greater than the third side value, that is 25. So here you can finally state that this second measurement value, okay, are the correct values, because with the help of these values you are able to construct a proper triangle. Why you are able to construct the proper triangle? Because in your explanation part or in the solving part, you are showing how the sum of the length of any two sides of the triangle are greater than the length of the third side. Okay, let me solve one more sum with you. So here we have the third sum. Again in this third sum, children, if you locate the highest value, okay, for my rough figure what I'm drawing, the highest value is 16. So I write 16 and the remaining will be 9 and 6. Okay, so for this third sum, I take the combination that is AB plus AC again, which should be greater than BC. Please remember, we are attempting the question of constructing a proper triangle. So for that, the highest value measurement, the highest side value measurement will be always your third side value. Now AB is what, 9, and AC is what, 6, which should be greater than your BC value, 16. So 9 plus 6, so it gives you the value 15, which is what you can say. Is it greater or lesser? It is, my dear children, it is less than 16, right? So here again you can see where the mouth is opening towards the third side. So obviously it is not fulfilling the property of the triangle, and since it is not fulfilling the property of the triangle, we have to conclude that the measurements given in the third sum will not help us construct a proper triangle. Why? Because it is not fulfilling the property of the triangle. Okay, so if the mouth opens, okay, to the sum of the two sides, then only a proper triangle be constructed. But if the mouth opens towards the third side measurement, then assume that a proper triangle cannot be constructed. Fine, children? So students, I hope with all the solving of these three sums, you have understood how to solve the remaining sums also. Please don't get confused, okay? You can view the video replay, and in the assignment section, I have shown you how to write it down, okay children? So few sums I have shown you how to write it down. The remaining sums, that is sum number 4, 5 and 6, you will do it for yourself, okay, by following the same steps. Is it clear to you? So don't get panic like Miss has erased it from the screen, now what to do, okay? Even if you rewatch the video, you will be able to see. But for your convenience, in the assignment section, I have written the proper steps, okay, of the sum for you, and you can follow the same. Now, though we are exceeding the time, but since we have come to the end of the lesson, children, I would just like to even complete, okay, and end up with this one sum which is remaining, okay. It's a very simple sum, nothing that you have to do. If you understand it properly, it's in the form of a word problem. If you understand it properly, I'm sure you will be able to answer. So I just don't want to keep it pending it for the next class. So I just take this sum for you. It is sum number 3 in your practice set number 36. Here they have stated that, as shown in the figure, Avinash is standing near his house, as you can see. He can choose from 2 roads to go to school. Okay, he needs to choose out of the 2 roads, he has to select any one road. So which way is shorter, and explain why. So they have said there are 2 roads, and I'll just highlight the roads for you. This is one road, okay, that is AC road, and the other road is AB, which again continues with BC. Okay, so did you see the 2 roads? This is one road here, and this is the second road. Now out of the 2 road, they have asked you need to solve and show out of the 2 road which one is the shorter road, which will help Avinash to go to school quickly. Okay, so can you think of how to solve it? Well, you can solve it again with the help of the property of a triangle. And which property you're going to apply here? You will apply the second property what I taught you, wherein sum of the lengths of the 2 sides, any 2 sides of the triangle, they are always greater in value as compared to the third side. Okay, so with this particular property, here on screen I have written the solution for you, okay, and the same solution you will find even in the assignment section. Fine. So the solution begins, children, that is, according to the property of a triangle, sum of the lengths of any 2 sides of a triangle is always greater than the length of the third side. Okay, so you need to write the property because that is your reason you're justifying. Now based on this property, therefore, comma, in triangle ABC, length AB plus BC, I'll just again show it to you. So this length AB plus BC, okay, when we add these 2 lengths, they will always be greater than the length of AC. So here you can see that is length AB plus BC is greater than the length of AC. Now AB is what? 2.5 cm. Now the measurement you have to take a scale and you have to measure, children. Okay, so after I have measured it in the textbook, I have written the value there. That is the length of AB measures 2.5 and the length of BC measures 3 centimeter, which should be greater than the length of AC. Now when you measure AC, it is 3.8 centimeter. Okay. So then when you add 2.5 plus 3, okay, you get the value 5.5 centimeter, which is greater than the third side value, which is 3.8. So now children, Avinash, will he select the AC road or will he select the combination of AB and BC road, which is, will he select the distance to walk of 5.5 centimeter or will he select to walk the distance of 3.8 centimeter? So here you can see that he will select the road which is AC road. Okay. So here he will select this road ACY because it is measuring 3.8 and these two roads, they are measuring 5.5. So obviously in the question they have asked you which way is shorter and you have to explain why. So okay, obviously in the solution I have shown you how to explain or justify your reason, and this is how, children, we conclude this particular word problem with a final answer statement, that is, the distance of road AC is shorter as compared to the distance of other road, that is AB and BC. So here we have shown how the road of AC is short as compared to the combination of the other two roads AB and BC. Okay, and how have we done? Because we have applied the property of the triangle. Fine, children? So today please view the assignment section, because with this video I come to the end of your entire lesson, triangle and their properties. And so I would just like to sum up. We have learned in this lesson type of triangle based on sides, wherein you have learned to name the triangle as equilateral, isosceles and scalene. Next, you have learned to name the triangle based on angles, wherein you have learned acute angle, right angle and obtuse angle. And next you have learned two properties. The first property is sum of the measures of the three angles of a triangle is always 180 degree. And the second property what you have learned is the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is always greater than the length of the third side. Okay. So children, I hope you have understood. Please revise back all your concepts, do your sum. Have a look at the assignment section and update your work. If you feel you are stuck somewhere, kindly replay and rewatch the video, okay, and get your things sorted out. Fine. So with this, I come to the end of our next lesson, that is your triangle and properties. In our next class, we will continue with something new. Thank you.